What is up, and welcome to the final Halloween month 2015 episode of Worth a Watch with me, Batman with Beard. Oh yeah, I'm Batman. Justice! But enough of that. It's really fucking hot in this thing. It really is. It's kind of uncomfortable, but either way, this is a lot of fun. I hope y'all are enjoying your Halloween, and if you're watching this before or after Halloween, whatever, I hope you're having a good day. This is going to be my personal top 5 most underrated horror/horror comedy list. A handful of them are horror comedies, some of them are horror films that I think don't quite get their due, and they're not brought up in a conversation. So let's get down to it. Now remember, of course, take this whole thing with a grain of salt. This is my opinions. This is just some movies that I've reviewed previously in my past Halloween month videos, and that's what kind of the point why I even reviewed them to begin with. So when I bring them up, of course, check my reviews out right now on my channel whenever you'd like. So here we go. Numero 5. That is Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
It's Hyde, isn't it? How is your brother?
He hasn't been himself of late.
This is the new Dr. Jekyll, the most evil woman you'll ever see. This is the sensuous Sister Hyde, the most evil man you'll ever meet.
Stay away from her. She means you great harm.
Why?
I just feel it, that's all.
In this film, you will actually see the sinister Dr. Jekyll change in mind and body into the totally evil Sister Hyde.
It is I who exist, Dr. Jekyll, not you.
An early Hammer horror classic that many people I think have overlooked, mainly because of how odd it is and how random it is. The retelling of Dr. Jekyll, but the Hyde character is an evil, murdering, psychotic succubus of a person. She is just, well, she's a woman, and that is arguably one of the biggest gimmicks in the movie, but Martine Bestwick pulls it off. I could buy her as this very terrifying, angry, murderous, evil woman that she plays. A very seductive person, by the way. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Ralph Bates plays a fairly naive Dr. Jekyll, but at the same time, he plays also... They put a twist on it that basically he's under the guise of the Jack the Ripper, basically. It's really fucked up if you think about it, what he does. So he's not all that innocent, but at first you're kind of like, oh, he's a pretty naive person, but no, this guy's really psychotic as well. So it kind of canceled each other out just a little bit. He was doing the killing for the science, but then his alter ego, Sister Hyde, was an evil, conniving bitch. And they both wanted to go after siblings, one brother, one sister, and that was kind of interesting. I liked a lot of the crossover and whatnot, but Numero 4. Bud Abbott and Lou Costello meet Frankenstein.
Abbott and Costello, petrified but hilariously. Plus the dangerous and terrifying Wolfman, played by Lon Chaney. Plus that fiend out of a nightmare, the vampire Batman, Count Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi. Plus the most dreaded creature of them all, the Frankenstein monster, played by Glenn Strange. Plus a couple of luscious but designing females in the spookiest laugh fest on record.
And it's not a true horror film, but it has such atmosphere of the classic movies. Now you may think, Anthony, why not put an original monster movie on there from the Universal line of horror films? Because those are classics. Everyone really talks about those. I mean, they're staples, but Bud Abbott and Lou Costello is not quite the staple that I think it should be. While it is definitely more of a comedy than horror, there is the amazing awesomeness that all three major villains here of the Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and Dracula, and even the Invisible Man makes a cameo later on in the film, respectively. That all these characters have never been on film together like this, and I think that was, I'm sure, was an amazing spectacle to see back in the day, especially with the timing of all the routines that Bud Abbott and Lou Costello do in this film. It's a simple enough script and story. It's not the most intricate plot line of these monsters crossing paths with each other, but still, it's a good watch. It's a lot of fun. If you can get it on DVD or stream it somewhere, I definitely think it's a lot of good Halloween fun. Number 3, Drag Me to Hell.
Another extension is out of the question.
Where will I live?
I'm really sorry.
Never have I begged for anything, but now I humble myself
Mrs.
before
Dennis,
you.
please.
I beg you.
Please let go. Please let go. Security!
You shame me. Soon it will be you who comes begging to me.
Someone has cursed you. He's the Lamia, the most feared of all demons. For the first 3 days, the spirit torments its victims. After that, it will come to take you.
Take me where?
To burn in hell for eternity.
It's a Sam Raimi film that has not been talked about enough. It has a good amount of comedy in it as well, because it's Sam Raimi. The guy knows how to blend comedy and horror so amazingly well. And with this, you're a protagonist of the main young woman in the film, and shit, I'm forgetting her name, but we move on. And Justin Long is her boyfriend, the skeptic of the film, not believing that she has been cursed by this older gypsy woman, and that she's gonna get killed off by the devil, basically. And there's a lot of funny over-the-top scenes, but as well as a lot more serious, horror, chilling scenes. There's a lot of creepy imagery in this movie that it just kind of freaked me the fuck out, especially with the old woman. The prosthetic makeup is amazing. I'm sure the woman is very sweet, but much like in Dead Silence, that doesn't matter. That's one other creepy old lady I will not ever want to see around me ever. But it has a very terrifying and bittersweet, sad ending, and it just blew my mind as to this wasn't the happy ending a horror movie sometimes has. It was really a 180, and it was really, really solid of a twist. It left Justin Long literally just kind of there, sad, and just kind of, well, fuck me. You know, that it's just that's just over. This shit is literally gone to hell. Number 2, Scream 4.
Robert's residence.
Welcome home, Sydney. You're a survivor, aren't you, Sydney? What good's it to be a survivor if everyone close to you is dead? You can't save them. All you can do is watch.
Modern audiences have become savvy to the rules of the original set. I mean, there are still rules, but the rules have changed.
And the kill's gotta be, like, way more extreme.
The unexpected is the new cliche.
And virgins can die now.
To be the new version, 2.0, the killer should be filming the murders.
That's a natural next step in psycho-slasher innovation.
I am baffled as to how that movie bombed. Technically, I saw it in the theater, saw it in my Alamo Draft House. I had a blast. It's arguably the more fun of the sequels to me, as well as the more thrilling situations. It's a situation where Sidney finally may or may not die, and it is hauntingly good. There's a good amount of creepy imagery. There's a good amount of fun and meta humor and scares, and the fact that it's so self-aware now, it's ridiculous. And Hayden Panettiere is the movie experts, along with one of the Culkin brothers, and Emma Roberts is arguably this most spoiled brat of a villain character ever. I just really, really enjoyed her performance overall, and along with David Arquette and Courtney Cox coming back, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson coming back with a vengeance and having a lot of fun, making such a great 4th installment. This is arguably one of the best 4th installment films ever made, and because once you hit past 3, it's kind of downhill from there. But I highly recommend checking it out. If you love the Scream movies, and if you, I'm a big fan, as you can see it like now. If you think the third one was meh, the fourth one more than makes up for it. I think it's definitely on par with at least Scream 2. It's still not up there compared to the original, but it's pretty damn close, and arguably the one I go to the most when rewatching any Scream movie. And my number one pick, and as I said, it's gotten more of its due, and I just reviewed it, but at the same time, it's like the runt of the litter of the whole horror movie genre, and that is Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat. I don't know why I'm doing that.
What is that? It's them. Oh my God.
Look at me. It's not a trick. It's real.
Tonight is about respecting the customs, not breaking them.
Yes, this movie that I just reviewed, it's one of the it was underrated for so long. It was like bubbling under the surface. Just there. It's just right here, and all these other horror movies are right here, and then it's barely getting its due, but I still found it to be underrated the last few years in recent memory, and I just have to say it's one of the most original anthology films ever made. It is such a treat to watch around Halloween time like now, because it's oozing with atmosphere, as I already stated. It just looks like Halloween. It has trick-or-treaters. It has pumpkins up the ass, literally everywhere. Werewolves. And all this other stuff. Murderers, psychopaths, and killer slasher film stuff thrown in there. It's so much horror movie goodness that it should not be missed. It's campy, it's gory, it's fun. It's what a horror movie should be for the most part, unless you like straight up nothing but The Exorcist and terrifying shit like that. Well then, by all means, if that's your thing, awesome. But I love my horror films with a little bit of substance and a little bit of humor, a little bit of dark comedy, you know, thrown in the mix. So that's why most of my movies here, I feel that, yeah, they're more or less horror comedies or dark comedies, but again, my opinion, my show, yeah. But that should do it for my top 5 most underrated horror/horror comedy movies. Movies that just quite aren't talked about enough, or just definitely are just bubbling under the surface and becoming cult classics maybe. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on these movies, ladies and gentlemen. That should do it. I hope you all have a very safe and happy Halloween if you go out and party it up, or go out taking your family to trick or treat or something. Have a good one. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Anthony Flores with Worth Watch, and keep going to the movies.